yeah, learn a lot from each fight. I was kind of thrown straight into the deep end with, top level grapplers. A lot of people are just had told me just to stick with boxing and quit MMA. You can't do both, and I don't tend to listen to those sorts of people. And I'm glad I didn't.
My name is Arlene Blencowe, that's my power you felt. Stupid ass judges took my championship belt. Look at all the damage in this fight that I dealt. These girls have a plan till I hit them first. Rebirth of anger fist makes your chain curse. Trying to fight back just makes your face look worse. Step into the octagon, you know my name. Get knocked out playing the angry fist game. Step into this Aussie, the result will be the same.
Um, I guess massive tribute to me.
Now, there's a fight I do want to ask you about. You can tell I've watched you fight even before I even reached out to even do this interview with you. I've watched you, and I've seen you come up. But I want to ask you about one fight and one fight that you were doing so well in, and I want to ask you what you took from that fight when you fought against Jesse Rose Clark or Jesse Jess. You
Oh,
you had, man, your stand up was like on point, and there were points in the fight that she actually was trying to figure out a way to take you down because the takedown defense you were doing pretty decent with that. And then okay, but what did you learn from that fight?
well, Jesse at that time was fighting in one of the most like well-known gyms here in Australia, with very high-level coaches and athletes, and yeah, it was there was a little bit of my coach at the time didn't really like that gym, so yeah, he just kind of there was a lot of pressure on me to beat her, and like I'd seen a lot of posts by Jessie and that she, I guess I put her up on a pedestal. So for me, like, a boxer going in, I was very scared to be grappling with her and definitely didn't want to be on the ground. And I wasn't experienced on the ground. Like, I think that fight was actually only 2 weeks after winning my two world titles in boxing. So, yeah, I'd had a massive weight cut for my boxing fight, and then I had a huge weight cut to get down to bantamweight to fight her. So it's a fight I probably wish I could do again, but yeah, I just made a stupid mistake giving my back up because she was on top, and then I thought for some reason that she was going to be going for like a heel lock or something. I don't even know why, because I don't even think she was grabbing my foot.
Yeah.
But just being the inexperienced person on the ground, like, but yeah, I gave my back up, and then obviously she choked me out. But the thing that I learned from there was we went back to the gym and we did so much rear naked choke defense. It wasn't funny. Like I just got drilled and drilled and drilled and drilled. And then just like my first fight, my very first MMA fight, I knocked the girl down with a straight right. She actually nearly did a backflip in the ring onto the ground. I'm sorry, into the cage. Yeah.
Man.
I just rushed in with kill mode, and she's grabbed me, flipped me over, and then armbarred me. So yeah, it was funny. I'd gone from like winning to like going in for the kill, and then next minute got armbarred. So I learned to respect the grapplers and the BJJ people, that very first fight, and yeah, so we went back to the gym after that, and I did heaps of armbar defense, all the different types of armbars. So yeah, I guess I'd hate to think that I'd ever get caught in an armbar. Oh, actually, sorry, Marlouse caught me in an armbar, but that was a very difficult one. Yeah, she was very tricky. That was a really hard one. It was dislocated my shoulder after that fight. But yeah, like I learned a lot from both of those fights. The importance of defense, ground defense.
Yeah, but Marlowe's, she's like a Hall of Famer. I mean, and she's been around. Like when you fought her, like she's been around like so long, so she knows all the veteran tricks.
Yeah,
Definitely what to do to a fighter that's still green. So she knew.
yeah,
So
yeah. There was a lot. Because Marlouse was probably like when I very first started like MMA, I hadn't really watched much of it or been around it or anything. So obviously Ronda Rousey was this icon because she pioneered. But obviously there was females like Marlouse, and and even Cyborg, like these girls. So I remember seeing both of these girls like fighting and that, and I'd yeah, the fact that I was even sharing the cage with someone like Marlouse, so I had put her up on a pedestal, and definitely didn't think I'd belong there. Like I remember reading one of her articles, and the year that she had her first fight was the same year that I had my daughter. So just how completely different our lives were, and how much more experience she had. But yeah, I guess it's another fight. Like yeah, it was a few years ago now, but obviously she's retired. But it's a fight that I wouldn't mind doing again. Obviously, just to try and redeem that loss.
She might come out of retirement to face you. You never know. She might, just put herself on Facebook and say, Miss Blencowe, let's come get this work. Come on. I'm going to take care of you right now. Come get it right now.
I think no, I think Marlouse is happy in retirement. She's got like a lot going on in her personal life, and yeah, like I guess it's strange for me because fighting's still very much a passion of mine. So it'll be strange for me to think of the day where I'll be ready to hang my gloves up and know that I've done enough in the sport. But I don't see that coming anytime soon. But yeah, it's strange to think that might come one day.
Yeah, it will come one day. It's gonna be kind of sad because I've actually enjoyed watching how you've come up, and just from nobody who people didn't know much about to you're fighting on one of the biggest stages in women's MMA.
Yeah.
And you're right there in front of I mean lots of people were watching you on TV fight for the title.
I know.
And it was a headliner.
It's crazy. Yeah, well, that's it. I was main event for Bellator, and people from all around the world were watching. But I didn't really let that sort of get to me. I was just really focusing on my fight. Like, as for me, obviously, every fight is a big fight, and I fight for the same thing every fight. And yeah, obviously, just being for the world title and being in front of millions of people was just an extra, like, added bonus. But I didn't let any of that get to me pressure-wise.
No, you didn't, because you went in there and you handled the pressure, I mean, beautifully. Now, it is one other fight I got to ask you, and then I ain't going to keep you too much longer, because I've enjoyed this. It's been kind of fun listening to how you do this. It's one fight. You fought against a young lady named Rihanna Thompson, Arlene.
Yeah. Yes.
Why did you beat that? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was in April in this year in China.
Why you beat that girl up so bad that you took her soul from her?
She's actually just gone on to win. I'm just trying to think of. I think it was a brace title here in Australia. So she's she's a tough girl. She's been around. She had a win against UFC fighter Beck Rawlings, the Australian girl. So yeah, she's been around. But for me, I had two fights outside of the Bellator cage this year, one in January and another one in April against Rhiannon. And for me, because I had that loss last year against Julia, I came in, I just really wanted to cement the fact that I was an international fighter. Like, I belong on the world stage, and I just wish I had taken a little bit of that sort of aggression into the Bellator cage. Like, even my fight with Sinead, there was so many times that I could have finished that fight. Like, I visibly rocked her, I could see it, but yeah, I was just a little bit more patient. And again, it's probably just respect for her hands. I didn't want to rush in and collect it with anything. And the same with Julia. Like, I probably wish I had have been a little bit more aggressive, but again, respected her wrestling and what I could be walking into. So it's a fine line. Like, it's one of those things that what's going through my head at the moment is that I've been told that I punch harder than Cyborg by a mutual opponent that's fought both me and Cyborg. So, I know that my hands hurt, and I know that when I'm aggressive and switched on, that like I'm a force to be reckoned with. But then there's also that fine line where you've got to be patient because you're on the receiving end of something, and I've just got to find that happy medium where I can be, I guess, both fighters.
Wow. Wow. Beautifully. I mean, hey, listen, yeah, you find a happy medium to be between both fighters. Sounds like
Yeah.
poetry. It sounds like poetry that you're sitting here quoting right now. Good grief. Well, I guess, I ask you a couple more things. And then I actually want to play the game. How you going to explain this? But I actually want to ask you this first, okay? Your pick. What? Okay, wait a minute. See, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. Can you tell the audience, okay, how difficult it is, for a boxer like yourself to make the transition? Like, what are some of the things that you actually had to do to be, even halfway decent at MMA?
Oh, well, for me, it was a massive transition because in boxing, I like to be a counter fighter and I like to fight from a distance. So I never liked being in close and, um, yeah, with your dirty boxing and just even being in distance. Like, I like to be the dictator. So for me to then transition over to MMA and hug and cuddle and be in close and be on the ground, and there's nothing more demoralizing for a fighter that's not used to it to be on the ground and have someone laying on top of you punching you. Like, it's a horrible feeling until you get used to it. So which again, I guess in a fight, like, no one ever likes it, but yeah, for that first time when you've got someone on top of you, like, it's horrible. So yeah, I guess going to talk about the fight between Holly and Cyborg. Is that what you're leading into with this, the transition? So yeah, for Holly, like, I did some training with Holly in the beginning of 2016, and well, yeah, she was a kickboxer and a boxer, but yeah, her grappling she's a strong girl. So yeah, it'll be a really interesting fight to see the two girls fight at the end of the year.
What are you, like a mind reader?
Oh no, often get a lot of questions about the transition between the two, asking, like, about Holly. And obviously, it's the next biggest female fight coming up. So yeah, I'm very excited.
So now I gotta ask you, since you trained with Holly, who's your pick?
Holly, I like. It's a hard one. I like Holly, obviously, because yeah, I've done some training with her, and she's an awesome girl. She's just such a cool, humble person, and I love the fact that she's always got time for her fans. And even after being on the mat for 2.5 hours, there'll be kids on the side of the mats waiting to meet her, and she'll be there, and she'll be talking to them, and she'll be genuinely talking to them. So it's not like, yeah, she's an awesome person. I've never met Cyborg. Cyborg's someone that I've always like pushed to try and fight because she could never get opponents, or she wanted to have boxing fights. And yeah, so I've like pushed to try and have a fight with her, strike versus strike and that. But yeah, it'll be an interesting fight between the two of them because, Cyborg's bringing a lot of boxers into her camp, Cecilia Brucus and Mia St. John, into her camp. So yeah, she's obviously respectful of Holly's hands. Um, yeah, but it's a hard one because the two of them have both got crazy power, and it'll just, lucky punch could end the fight. So it's a really hard one to pick. But yeah, I'll be going Holly just because she's a cool chick.
Yeah, Holly Holm is a humble person.
Yeah.
I'm going Cyborg all the way. I'm going Cyborg.
Yeah. So, well, this is the thing. Cyborg, I've never, like I said, I've never actually met her, but I've been told that she's a really cool chick too. For me, I just think it's just awesome that females are getting out there and just getting recognition for being the athletes that we are. Like, we do have to thank Rhonda for that. She's moved on now, but there's heaps of other females that are coming through now that are somewhat more exciting to watch than some of the guys. Like, it's crazy how even the last 4 years that I've been doing MMA, just watching the girls coming through the ranks and just how awesome it is, like how skilled they are.
Wow. Wow, you said it beautifully. Yeah, it is. It really is. You're starting to see the sport evolve, and I'm glad right now in women's MMA you don't have a lot of people ducking people. That's the case in boxing because I have a boxing background, so I keep up with the sport of boxing, and I think it's too much ducking.
Yeah.
But the women, man, y'all want to fight each other. Y'all calling each other out. Y'all saying, look, I'll fight this one. I don't want to. Hey, listen, give me the best. Because I look at your resume, and I'm just telling you, you were not afforded like the luxury of just having a lot of like opponents to start you off. Like you jumped into the fire immediately, and you had tough opponents as soon as you started. So that's got to say a lot about you as a fighter.
Well, yeah, I think in all honesty, for any of us females that fight and are fighters, there's something special about us to begin with, because it's not the norm for a female to want to be involved in a somewhat male-dominant sport and to want to get punched in the face or even put our bodies and minds through what we do to get prepared for each fight. So that's why I am such a respectful person to all of my opponents, because we're a special breed of females that want to step outside of what is classed as normal, I guess. So yeah, I think that it does show. We all just do want to fight each other. We all want to fight the best and be the best, because we fight to even get here in the first place. For a lot of, I know when I first started, I was the only female fighter at my gym training, and I used to have to fight every day to try and get to the level where the boys were at, and finally got to the stage where, like, now I walk in and not so much the gym that I'm at now, but I walk in and the boys give me the respect. I punch as hard as the guys, and I fought every day at training to get to that level. So I know that all the other girls around the world that get to the world stage have gone through similar stories to get to where they are.
Okay, man, that's good. Hey, look, you've kind of given my audience a complete education. It's almost like I'm talking to one of my buddies, and we just talking fights. This don't even feel like I'm interviewing you. It's like we just talking fights. Wow.
Had you just ramble on a little bit?
No, that's okay. Listen, you can talk for a million minutes, because you got to understand, I'm talking to you like I'm overexcited. Like when I tell you like how excited, and I've done interviews, but I just never. I'm excited because I've watched you come up. Okay, I've seen you in 2 title fights. I've seen you in multiple fights, and I'm actually talking to you. I don't even know if you understand that I'm talking to you. I don't think you understand that, but I am. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
Yeah,
It's a pleasure.
For me, one of the things that I've always, and I probably learned that after being at Jackson's too, is that we're all just people. So I don't even, like, if I was to meet someone or get to talk to someone, yeah, it would be for me no different to talking to somebody else. Like, yeah, so I don't ever put myself up on that pedestal. So I will talk to you now, and one day when I'm a world champion, I'll still talk to you. Like, it's just, I'm a normal person, and it was one of the things that I like to pride myself on, that, yeah, I'm still just very much a normal person doing extraordinary things.
Well, God bless you. I tell you, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, well, before I let you go, last thing, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, and I'm gonna see how you're gonna explain this. Okay, I'm gonna ask. Okay, all right. First question, you ready?
Yes.
Oh God, I think you're ready for this. This test you can't fail. Okay, first fight against Julia Budd, 30-27, 29-28, 29-29. How you gonna explain this, or how do you think the judges can explain this one?
Yeah, I think she won that fight. She did take me down. She was more dominant. It's the second fight that they need to explain.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna give you that one. I actually had the first fight a draw, but okay, I'm gonna go with you because you're the fighter, and the fighter is always right on this show. I'm just joking. Okay. All right. So in the second fight, how are they going to explain one takedown, meaning that Julia Budd won the fight in fight number 2?
I'm not too sure how they can explain that one. Yeah, it's I'm lost for words, really. It'd be interesting to, I guess, speak to the judges themselves and see what they thought they saw, or yeah, I guess even listening to the replay and having Jimmy have me up on his scorecards. Like, I know that everybody back here at home was watching the fight, and they're excited because they're listening to the commentator actually commentating and having me in next minute. My hand's not getting raised, so it's it does definitely make it hard.
Yeah, that probably it had to have been difficult. I got an explanation. I think those judges, I think those judges needed cataract surgery. I think they needed I think they may have been high. I don't know, but there's a lot of different reasons to why they can't even explain
Fortunately
that.
for me, maybe because it was the last fight of the night and it was late. They'd already judged so many fights and they were tired. And yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
maybe
okay.
maybe if we were first fight of the night, they would have been fresh and things would have been different.
Oh man, perfect response. Okay, now here's one. I hope you don't laugh too hard on this one. When you beat up May, how were the announcers gonna explain interviewing the loser first? How they gonna explain that one?
I think I'm trying to remember whether or not she was hometown girl, but yeah, that's okay. I gave me more chance to get my breath back and what I wanted, work on what I wanted to say.
God. Oh man. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna stop. I've had a lot of fun. I definitely thank you for talking to me, taking time out. 'Cause I know it's not easy with all the stuff you got to do.
Well, that's
Um,
right. It worked well actually because I'm just driving up to my son's school to pick him up from school, so perfect timing.
okay. Perfect. Hey, well, you got anybody else you want to thank? As we close it out.
There's an American company that jumped on board, June Gear. He jumped on board as a sponsor. Obviously, all my sponsors back here home in Australia. I can go through all of them, but thank you guys. My coaches, obviously, a big shout out to my children, Kayla and Kiana, my partner Dion. But yeah, thank you to all my supporters and all my fans who have messaged and continuously follow me. And yeah, I hope I make you all proud.
Okay, guys, and this is Arlene Blencowe, and I'm saying it correctly. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, you are. You're pronouncing it perfect.
Okay, great, because I got a southern accent. But guys, listen, you need to follow this woman. If you don't, I'm gonna be upset because you know, you better follow her. And all your information, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, that'll be on the screen for the duration of the video. And yeah, yeah, that's really about it.
Thanks heaps for having me on the show.
Thank you. Well, hopefully, again, when you get your schedule a little, intact, I'd like to let you join, me and my other partner, Eric, Amazing Eric, and we do like a podcast, and it's
Yep.
actually a live stream podcast where, people can interact with you live. So
Oh, awesome.
so yep. So I'll check with you from time and ask you about your schedule, and maybe we'll do it for a big fight. I don't know, maybe before a big UFC pay-per-view or a big Bellator pay-per-view.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
That's good.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And hey, could you say your name one more time for the audience? This is
Arlene Angerfist Blencowe.
okay. Hey, that's perfect. That's the perfect name. Thank you.
Thank you. Or the Aussie.